Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. Good afternoon from where I am, and this is the regular time for the live broadcast, which I shall attempt to do as and when I can. Today I almost didn't do it because the weather was so nice. I thought perhaps I won't get back on time. So, but anyway, I am back on time and I'm now able to do it. I went out on my bicycle and I was filming things related to my history site, and so that will be what I've done this morning, and today I should say, will be published on my history site before long. Now, as always, if you've got any questions related to motorhomes or RVs, van life in general, then please use this occasion to actually ask them, and I will be answering a question today which was asked into one of the films. But first, a couple of pieces of news. The first thing, there will be an event I will be attending, which if you're in Germany, then it wouldn't be so difficult for you to get it. And this event is called the Open Caravanning Open Days, which will be held in Wrocław. Poland said Germany because it's easy to get to. If you're in Eastern Germany, or if you're in Poland, then or Czech, then it's easy to get to. And that will be held from the 25th to the 27th of June. Now, at this very moment, as I speak, I should have been at Bad Kissingen. I think this was the first date that they gave. It might have been last week, I've now forgotten. But for the Abenteuer und Allrad, fantastic 4x4 event, absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, it was cancelled. So and it's now going to take place in the middle of October. Just got how long I've been on the air? 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So anyway, and how long have I been doing this? I think I've been doing this now for about 5 months, doing something of this nature. So that's the first thing. I am now I'm in central Poland. I am to the east of Łódź, it's a bit near Lodz, which is slap in the centre of Poland, but I shall be now travelling, and I shall be travelling in an southerly direction, and then I shall be going westward to Wrocław for this event. Now, right, so first question that came up was, are most motorhomes under three meters in length? Well, in height, sorry. Yes, and there's very good reasons for this. Now, a friend who's an engineer, and perhaps he understands these things better than I do, he said to me like this: it's really unrealistic to sort of build a van much bigger than around at 320 you start to have problems, and at 340 you're not really going to get much bigger than that. There are one or two vehicles which are higher than this, and obviously with cab overs sometimes they do go over this. Now, there are vans which are, say, 4 meters in height, or even more, or luxury things, but that is because of their base vehicle. But if you take a base vehicle being something like the Fiat Ducato, with the longest one 7 meters long by 200 and roughly 205, something like that, and then it's not realistic to really build it much higher because of reasons of stability. And now, I personally believe that its best way to go is up. But you'll know from even being out and driving, is sometimes even being in a car, you can get winds, or when you sort of overtake a lorry, or if you overtake a lorry on one of these motorways in Italy, and it goes through a tunnel onto a tunnel bridge, and then you really feel the side wind as it comes in and hits you. Well, just imagine what that's going to be like in a vehicle which is double the, or even 2.5 times the height of your car, or even 3 times maybe the height of your car. No, I've exaggerated there, but 2.5 times the height of your car. So that is really going to knock you out as you sort of come across. So that's I think something that needs to be to be considered. Now, today's question I wanted to answer is this one. Somebody wrote from North Macedonia that he's got 35,000 euros. What can he do with the money? And I thought, well, if I had 35,000 euros to spend on a van, are there any vans available? Yes, there are. There's plenty, and there's some really nice things, because I looked it up. I wouldn't be buying a new thing because I don't want to wait for years on end. Well, I'm exaggerating a bit now, but at least a year to get it delivered, and all the other reasons I've said in the past why I don't want to buy a new thing. But 35,000 euros, well, so what I've done with this money is I've decided 5,000 I'm going to keep back as a reserve to buy some stuff which I probably want, such as lithium batteries, and the other 30,000 is for the van and itself. So I went onto a website in Germany which looks for searches for vans. It's called caraworld.de, but there's plenty of others. And so then I sort of chose one or two. And the first one I really fancied is a Hymer van B644 from June 2003 at the cost of 30,000 euros. 7-meter long van, rear widthwise bed, 129,000 kilometers on the clock, and that would suit me. Now that's a bit, just a bit more than what I've even got on the clock on the van I've got here. This one's got about 119, I think it is, 118, something like that. So there would be one idea. Another van I really liked here, Frankia integrated i700. It's this one, no, it's a Frankia. It's going to be older because it's November 2001, 20 years old, but 108,000 on the clock. And it says here it's got a slide out, but I find that a bit hard to believe. In fact, I couldn't work it out where it has got it. So I mean, mind you, if a slide out's 20 years old, I wouldn't be too impressed by that. And right, and so you can get other ones which are not such, how should I put it, even from the Hymer group. You could find Carthago, you can find these things. But I would, if I had this type of money available, I would go for something really good like that. So sort of a classic Hymer, classic Frankia, Carthago, for example, something along these lines. Now, all of these are on a Fiat Ducato basis. You might want to get a Mercedes, but in that case, for 30,000, you're not really. I don't think you're going to find anything too good that was made this century anyway. So so that gives one or two ideas. And another thing I'd rather find was an EuraMobil. I don't know how to pronounce it, or should I be pronouncing it. 28,000, 4 sleeping places, 714 centimeters in length. So you do have a lot of things here. One thing actually, which wouldn't suit me, but I mean, I just noticed this for 30,000. You get a Phoenix. Phoenix is a company which is located bang next to where Concord is, in this village called Aschbach in Germany. In fact, you've got Phoenix, Concord, and Morello within 5 kilometers. So you've got the sort of the top end of German manufacturing all right next to each other. In fact, you've got Phoenix here, and then you've got this really nice motorhome Air. It's one of the nicest ones I've been to. And then you've got Concord. And if you stay in this Air, then Concord actually gives you bread in the morning, which is very good. You don't. In fact, you just leave it. Hello. And so now anyway, so they've got this Phoenix. April 2001. Okay, it's 20 years old. 5 sleeping places, 250,000 on the clock, and it's don't know what engine's on. It's not written, but never mind. I would like to actually be showing you this at the same time, only I haven't worked out how to do it. In that case, I would also have to be using my computer to as has been noticed in the past, the computer doesn't have particularly good camera. So there you have some idea. And the thing is that these ideas, though, they're just changing all the time. And because I think any stuff that's any motorhome that comes up now is going to be gone pretty quickly. And I noticed that most of these were in the area of Düsseldorf, or the Mülheim to be more specific. And I'll just give a couple of other things actually I did see as well. One here is, for example, a roller team from which was 28,000, and that is from 2006. But you know, given the choice of a 2001 Frankia or a 2006 roller team, I would personally, I would go for the Frankia, just the way I am. Also, here's a Hobby, also 28,000, also from 2006. Hobby with a double floor from 2005, also 28,000. But I just feel that if you go for the more luxurious model, then you're likely to get something better. And I think this is the opposite, though. If you were buying a car, if I were buying a car and I had a certain amount of money to spend, I would go for the one which was least luxurious, probably, because things in the cars tend to sort of get broken, or maybe that's just my bias or my experience in life. But I think you're better off getting in it with a motorhome, sort of spending so going older and getting something classic. And there's one thing I always used to say to people when I had a Mercedes 190D. Now this is a car I drove for a very long time until I got my first van, and then it was lying around doing nothing, so I mean, obviously I got rid of it. But that vehicle would now be 35 years old, 36 years old. And even 15 years ago, I'd say to people, I bet this vehicle will be on the road longer than vehicles that are coming off a production line right now. Anyway, so sort of a little bit. So anyway, so there is an answer to that question. And if you've got any questions of your own, so sort of do keep them back for other times. And right, so I've told you a little bit about what about the event in Wrocław. I've answered the question, and so my plan now is I'm heading to a place called Tarnów, which is in southern Poland. Then I'll go to Wrocław, and then I might go to Gdansk. That's sort of the plan, but it might get changed. There's a couple of places I'm going to visit en route, but they're all related to history. And if I might actually take this moment to give a little plug for my history site, which is called History on YouTube, and I'm now uploading a history video at least once a week, and that once a week is on a Friday at 8 o'clock my time. And if you want the motorhomes, it's every day of the week from 21:15 my time, Central European time, an hour earlier in the UK. Okay, so thanks very much for those of you who watched. I hope you found that of interest, and I hope you'll be at the premiere this evening, which is a relatively cheap, comparatively cheap. It's a private label van, but sorry, for a private label van, it's not cheap. It's a bit more expensive than most private labels, but it's cheaper than the main brands. So anyway, I've got that. I've got a detailed tour of that for this evening. Thanks very much, and all the best from Poland. Bye.